Yeah. All right. So we're here to just to give a few tips to the potential clients on construction in Uganda. So maybe you can start by introducing yourselves and what kind of work you do and all of that. Maybe you can start with that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Raphael, engineer. I do construction,
Mm.
land survey, and property management.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the brief
Yeah. And
of
you're
me.
from Truro, right?
Yeah, I'm from Toro,
Mm.
and I've moved like most part of the country.
Mm.
I know, and what I can assure you is, with when it comes to construction and
Mm.
so, I'd be able to give you
Mm.
tips.
Mm. I know. I'm sure you wouldn't be here if I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you yourself, sir.
Yes, I'm called Onyango Emmanuel
Mm.
Tower. I'm also an engineer.
Mm.
I've been building in various parts of the country,
Mm.
even in Congo,
In Congo, okay.
in Shasha.
Sure,
I've
sure.
done some work in Nairobi.
Right, right.
Then maybe assuming if you're in Uganda here, could go to restaurant, KFC restaurants, those
Mm.
interiors which are done by us, part
Ah,
of the
okay. You've done
guru.
the KFC.
Yes,
All right, all right. And you're from where?
from Toro.
Also.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. That's good to. I have a very high opinion of people from that side. So, in terms of just to not to bore people, but like let's say that I was wanting to build in Uganda. You know, I like the country. I visited the country and I want to build here. But of course, building a house it's a big deal right? For a person. I mean, it's the biggest purchase a person will make in their life probably. So what are the kind of the main points, the main tips that you would give that person, like what to avoid and what to kind of focus on and what to make sure you do, what to make sure you don't do. I mean, we didn't rehearse this, so it's a difficult to think while you're talking. But what would be the first tip that you would give them?
Basically, as a property person, I would like to say maybe we can first of all identify the place where we need the site to be, like in case of a plot or land.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, we identify the property, we do the search, basically land
Legal answer,
acquisition. Yeah,
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 land acquisition,
yeah.
yeah. But no,
So
but in terms of construction itself, like because for example, I know we have these examples of diaspora Ugandans sending money to cousins at home, and then they you work for 10 years, then when you come back, there's nothing. I mean, they've eaten all the money, and so how do you overcome that? How would I, as a person who doesn't stay here regularly, how would I get a house built? What is the best way of doing
An
that?
example, one of it you can do as in charge of property management.
Mm.
Normally, what we do with our clients, assuming you tell us your desire, what you want,
Mm.
probably make for the bills of quantities. Then we go into
agreement.
agreement,
Mm.
contract agreement,
Yeah.
sign with your agreement.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And
that's to be.
after signing contract agreement, normally to avoid those frauds, we normally do what's called admitted works. Okay,
Mm.
what we do is what the client pays,
Mm.
provided we have agreed with
Mm.
him.
Mm.
Yes. Or if possible, maybe assuming like an example, the work is 1 billion,
Mm.
we can say, are you paying maybe a down payment of 30%? 30%,
Mm.
that is
Yes, yes.
mobilization.
Then yeah.
Mobilization of
Start working on
30%
that.
of what is supposed to be paid. We
Mm.
push the we say maybe actually if you pay mobilization of 30%, we shall do this work up to tune of about 50%.
Yeah.
And after 50%, we assess what you have been done through the bills of quantities, what has been specified
Yeah.
it. Then maybe you pay.
But how about monitoring? I mean, because I'm thinking of in terms of let's say that I want to build, but I can't be here to monitor. What would be the ways of like setting up? Of course, I understand that you can't be there 24/7. It's impossible. I mean, there's always room for fraud, and fraud is everywhere. I know that. But what would you recommend? Like maybe you could get like a relative or not, or somebody who you know to kind of to do
No.
Basically,
pop,
what I
pop
can
by
say,
or what?
what I can say, we are reliable people,
Mm,
and when it comes to construction, we keep standard,
mm,
have professional ethics we
mm,
follow. We can't do for you cheap things
mm.
because we want to save money.
No, yeah, of
Yeah,
course, but you know, the first thing a con man will say is that I'm not a con man.
that is
You know,
true.
so it's kind of like over time, yes, you
Yeah,
can learn to trust someone,
yes.
but anyway,
Another thing, maybe what you can learn, what you can advise clients from outside in case they want to invest in Uganda. May I assume you have got your contract.
mm,
Sending money through relatives is also a loophole. They
Mm.
can decide to eat your money, don't know what is taking place. Amid this, you have got a contractor, you must also have a consultancy.
Mm. Right, so
Yes.
somebody to kind of monitor,
Yeah,
to keep an eye on you. So you would pay that person just to keep an eye.
It is the client to pay that consultancy.
That
To
makes
see
sense.
the ratio which has been done, is it good?
Yeah,
What has been done?
And then the pictures they're sending you, are these the real pictures?
Yes, the real picture.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't only rely on the contractor,
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
engineer. You must be having what? A consultant.
Some like eyes on the ground.
His eyes on the ground.
That's clear. That's clear.
And the eyes on the ground, you don't need to use your relative.
You need to just somebody you pay to do that.
Yes,
It's very. At least I found it to be very crucial because I mean it's not just Uganda but everywhere. You know, when there's an opportunity for fraud will happen. Theft will happen. So you kind of have to find a.
Another challenge is also maybe perhaps what those people also face. Most of those people who are in diasporas, what they also face. They want to invest in Uganda here. You may find that you have got an engineer bringing substandard materials, material which doesn't suit the standard.
Exactly.
The Euro code. You know this Euro code in construction and engineering. You normally use Euro code. Those codes of construction.
Right.
You may find you out.
Mm.
Engineer will quote, I need maybe T16. In the actual sense, you may find maybe T16 from roofing or from steel and tube. These are maybe one of the big companies, maybe from Paramount. You may find it they are buying a bag with a cheaper price.
With a cheaper price and they're keeping
and of low quality. Then you might find that when you reach there, you find the house, maybe within a certain time, maybe they find the house cracks and so on.
Yeah, and that's the thing that as we were just talking before we started recording that for example inside a wall there's no way to know what is in there. That is true. Until it starts cracking, and that is after it starts cracking, they're already the guy will have, I mean that's a couple of years down the line. So that is true. So and also if you have some kind of consultancy there, to monitor. And I, as kind of thinking about the business model, I highly encourage that for someone to do that. If you have someone you trust in Uganda, or because it's also not good for let's say you build with us, that we get you that person, because then that person is kind of on our side, and that person has to be neutral and if anything on the client side. So to encourage that person to get someone who can come in and do just to have a look at the books, have a look at the talk to people, take pictures, and make sure that everything's running smoothly. It doesn't have to be there all the time. Of course, it won't be all. It doesn't make any sense. But let's say every month you would pass by and see how things are going. Something like that. Yeah.
Not every month. Maybe after every week.
Something like that. Depending.
Then an example when the time reached for casting concrete. Before the concrete is being cast, they have to do inspections. Yeah. What you have prescribed from the BOQ, is it there?
Is it there? Yeah.
Have you put these bars you see? Have you put the other thing? So they have to do a joint inspection with the contractor.
Exactly. Yeah. And also I mean, we're not going to get into it now, but also this licensing with the council, that you have to have the plans. They have to, the letter to start even before you start digging. What we did is we at the site we kind of. Well, it wasn't cheating because we knew that the letter is just on the way, but we started digging the soak pit and whatever. And then we're like, well, what happens if somebody comes in and inspector comes in? What is this called? We thought that we use it for like a traditional wrestling, like it's a pit where you. Anyway, this is an anecdote, but the point is that you need all those plans in place, and you have to have, as you engineers know, you have to have good relations with the council, because those guys they will always give you a hard time if you don't know what you're doing. You will end up either paying or not getting what you want.
That is another thing. Then another common mistakes people make is starting construction without doing boundary opening. You find whereby you start a construction and you're encroaching or they're encroaching. Those are the common things. And another thing is rushing the project. Because you want to beat the deadlines. Then another thing may be using cheap labor in construction can cost a lot.
True. And if they don't know what they're doing.
When they don't know what they're doing. Those are the main
It's true.
key things. Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. You have to get the right people. But sometimes, of course, it's like in different phases. In a certain phase, you need a lot of people, and then you can't really handpick them. But you need your core team
Yes, true.
that know what they're doing, and you know them by name. You can even if you want, you can contact them directly for whatever reason. But anyway, you have to have that core team, and then you get casual labor so that not to fall behind.
That's true.
But like you said, it's not a good idea to rush because you're going to be living in the house yourself. So why should you, unless you're really,
It is your property.
and if you're in such a hurry, then just buy something off the market. Don't build it yourself. If you really want it this week. But if you want a good thing, then rushing will just increase the number of mistakes.
Yeah,
There will always be mistakes, but rushing will increase them. So Anyway, thanks guys. It's a good chat. We put on the website. We'll put pictures of and video of things that we're doing currently and plans and all of that. But I thought it's important that people hear like from the horse's mouth themselves. Like what are the issues?
Another thing also may talk about it now, showing to be like there must also be safety gears for people who are working on site.
Yeah, of course.
You must be having overall helmet,
True.
have gloves,
Yes,
and
safety, the protection. Yeah.
protection, first aid within the site.
Also, you don't want to get somebody hurt
Yeah,
because you didn't get them the right equipment to do that job. It's also a cost, but things cost money, so you have to. And safety first. I mean, we don't want because a house is important, but it's just a house. And you get somebody killed.
That's
Building
what
your house, and that's it's in your mind forever. And also monetarily, you have to pay the victims. Okay, good. So let's go to the site. Thank you.